everyone, welcome back to the Crystalina Perspective, and in today's video I am doing a collab with the beautiful Just Joia. We will be planning from the days of October 12th through October 18th, and I am so excited about the kit we're using. We decided to use the kit by Chic Blossom Prints titled Coffee Yes Please, and y'all, I am so happy Joia decided to pick this kit because look at it. Oh my gosh, the gold foiling on it is so beautiful, and you get so many stickers in this Chic Blossom Prints kit. You also get all the things to make your spread stand out. Different quarter boxes, half boxes, trackers, and look at this, y'all, another set of date covers. So you could ultimately get 2 spreads out of this kit. So I absolutely love this kit. I am so excited to be using it, and I can't wait for you guys to see how everything turns out. So Joia and I are both nurses by trade. However, we happen to be obsessed with planning and planners and decorative planning. So we decided to do a collab, and in this collab we will be discussing our nursing journey, our nursing career, and nursing goals, as well as telling you guys a little bit about ourselves before our nursing career. So I'm just gonna start off with a question that we asked, and I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just basically trying to let you guys know about your girl, okay? So one of the questions we wanted to ask each other was, did we do anything before nursing? Nursing for me is a second career. Before nursing, I did have, I still have, but I did get my bachelor's of science in community health sciences with an emphasis in health policy and administration and health promotion. And I also got my master's of business administration with an emphasis in health administration. So I got those degrees years ago. I've been out of college since 2014. So yeah, it's been a pretty good while since I've gotten my bachelor's, and I got my master's in 2016, which was about 4 years ago. So prior to nursing, I was a health educator. I also did some health policy work. Well, more of health administration than health policy. I worked in various hospitals, and I really had a different life outside of nursing. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse, but somehow my cards didn't align properly. I don't really know. I just feel like I'm on the path that God set me to be on. And so, long story short, I worked at Planned Parenthood for a year, absolutely loved it, was a health educator there. And before that, I actually worked in a hospital in an education administrator coordinator role, where basically I was over like some different health policy and administrative procedures in a medical school and a residency program. So I absolutely enjoyed it, but I was not fulfilled. So in 2017, after I lost one of my health administration jobs that I did have, I just was sitting there and was like, you know what? Now is the time to do this. So we're going to nursing school. So I did not have the courage to apply for RN school, which I'm just about. But at the same time, I also did not have the finances nor the support to just, ditch living. Not saying I was living a very luxurious life, but at this point in my life, I had bills, I had things I needed to take care of. So I honestly did not have the time to just sit out of a decent job for 2 years. I needed to struggle a year, get what I needed to get, and then go back. So that's what I did. I ended up applying for LPN school, got accepted, and I started LPN school of July of 2017, and I graduated June of 2018. And that journey for me was very difficult. Some of the things that I did fear did occur when I basically was in LPN school. I got sick a lot. I also lost my car. So, and I'm not saying I had a really nice car then. I mean, it was a nice car because it was a Kia Optima, but I ended up losing my car. Simply because I wasn't making enough. And that was my biggest fear with RN school, spending those 2 years not, being able to have what I need. And basically, I was living paycheck to paycheck in LPN school. So, like I stated, I graduated in 2018, and I've just been on an upward journey in my nursing career. And it's basically has been an awesome journey thus far. Now, I got my license officially in September of 2018, and after that, I've been working ever since. So, one of my biggest hurdles is the next question. What is one of your biggest hurdles in nursing? One of my biggest hurdles in nursing is, I really hate to bring this up, but I would say skin color. The only reason why I say that is because I'm good with the skills, the content, and that type of thing. But when I talk about wanting to level up in the nursing career, especially in the state that I am in, I'm in Arkansas. There are some nurses here that are Black that are doing a phenomenal job, but some of us do have to go through the struggle. When I worked at a hospital here, I was treated like crap. We did team nursing, and they really just, it was almost like nurse bullying, which honestly, now that I think about it, it was just a lot of, you do this, you do that, go give the meds, go get the patient to the bathroom. Absolutely no assistance, although I did have an RN. And then when I went to other jobs, I could definitely see the racial differences. Whereas this person of another race could do whatever, but Lord behold, if I made that mistake or if I did something similar, I suffered repercussions of that. And it's just been a lot of unfair things that I have seen. Currently in the job that I'm in, I work in a clinic. I really haven't seen too many racial disparities, but I have seen a few amongst how some of the physicians treat, nurses of one race and then nurses of my race. So that is definitely one of my biggest hurdles in nursing. I know that's not everywhere, but I do know that in a lot of places, the whole racism thing is still a thing in nursing. And that just bothers me, to be honest, y'all, because it's 2020. Like, why are we going through this? But we also saw these things happen during June and July with Black Lives Matter, and honestly how a lot of people dismiss the feelings of Black people, which isn't right. So that's definitely been a hurdle for me. I just never really spoke out about it. But, as always, we surpass the drama. We have God on our side and we press through. So that is what I have been doing, especially with these different hurdles that I have faced thus far. So I basically already told you guys how I got into nursing, but I'm actually, that's the next question, how you got into nursing. But I'm actually going to back up. So as you guys know, like I said, I was having trouble with my different jobs and whatnot in health policy, health administration. So backing up, honestly, all the way to my high school years, I was obsessed with nursing. I actually really got interested in nursing when my grandmother she's passed away now, but when she got a stroke and she suffered for about 3 years and then she passed away. And that just really sparked my drive to want to be a nurse. Now I'm going to tell you guys why it took me so long to get to nursing. So basically, my grandmother, as I stated, she had a stroke. I was in the 8th grade when she had it. She passed away. She ended up passing away from complications of the stroke, congestive heart failure, diabetes, and some other things when I was in the 10th grade. So technically, she lived about 2 years after her stroke. But I was intrigued with all of the care that my grandmother received, from the hospital to getting transferred to the LTAC unit. It was just all phenomenal. These nurses worked so hard to ensure that my grandmother did not experience any pain, that she had the things that she needed, that she was dry, that she wasn't hungry. And I was so intrigued. And note, prior to, this health situation with my grandmother, I was always interested in becoming a pediatrician. So I was like, I'm going to be a pediatric doctor. I'm going to care for children. But I had a shift in MO when my grandmother got sick. And it was just one of those things that was so just, oh my gosh, it was so phenomenal, so amazing. And so when I entered into high school in the 9th grade, I learned about all of these different things you could do at my high school. And one of those things was that you could join this vocational educational course called Allied Health. There was an Allied Health 1 and an Allied Health 2, and the students that did this Allied Health program basically were able to become a CNA. They could become a medical technician. They could also become a pharmacy technician while they were in high school. So that just blew me away, guys. That just made me feel like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. So as I stated, I witnessed the care and I was like, okay, I may do this. I may not. We'll see. So 10th grade was really the turning point for me, because in about October of that year, my grandmother started to decline really rapidly. At this point, we began to receive hospice services at our home, and it was just a whole whirlwind. Earlier that year, our house was turned into an entire hospital room, with my grandmother having a hospital bed, a bedside commode, a Joia lift, all of these different things inside of the home. So I was just so intrigued by how the nurses, even with the circumstances, were so optimistic, were so just informative. They were so loving and caring, and they educated us to the fullest about my grandmother's condition. They were like, okay, we know this is difficult. This is a transition, but we're here to help. And they were passionate about it. So I was like, maybe I can explore nursing. So my grandmother unfortunately passed away December of that year, and I was devastated. It was December of 2018. I was devastated. I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe this has happened. This is horrible. And the hospice nurses, although they had done their job of helping my grandmother to transition, they still stayed in contact with us for a year. And they sent us flowers and fruit and all of these nice things. And they were the sweetest people I had ever met. So I had this mentor, and I still have the same mentor when I was in high school, who encouraged me, well, one thing of the legacy of your grandmother is that you could become a nurse. And here's a big scrapbook kit. You're into scrapbooking. I want you to hold on to all those memories of you and your grandmother. And I want you to do that. And that is honestly when my eyes opened up into nursing, and honestly how I got into nursing. From my 11th and 12th grade year, I was in Allied Health. I also then became a member of Health Occupation Students of America. And it was up from that point. I ended up winning a full scholarship to a 2-year institution in Mississippi, and it was just a phenomenal time. But I allowed negative people to talk me out of that. They were like, oh, you're going to go be a nurse. You said you were going to be a doctor. Nurses don't make anything. Nurses don't do anything. Blah, 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 blah. And it was horrible, because then the full ride that I accepted at this community college that was only about 2 hours away from my mom, I declined. And here I was on this journey of utter loss. So I went to college, and I was like, I'm gonna do nursing. But what I realized was that a 4-year nursing degree is very rigorous. We don't talk about that. We talk about, oh, well, you could do this, you could do that, but we never talk about the various routes you could get into nursing. I could have been a nurse, honestly, 10 years ago, but I allowed people to talk me out of it. So that's also goes into another question that we have, but that's one piece of advice I'm going to just drop right now. Don't allow people to talk you out of something that you know that God has given you a passion for. Don't let people do it. Because at the end of the day, those people are still going to be doing their thing while you're unhappy picking up the pieces. And that is where I found myself 2 degrees later, unfulfilled. Like, how in the world does that happen? You go to school, you spend all this time, you get some debt because my MBA was not cheap, and you're still not fulfilled. Yeah. So that is honestly how I got into nursing. It took me 6 years to get back to that place. Well, really 7 years to get back to that place of, Crystal, your passion and desire is to be a nurse. So the next question is, what goals or difficulties that you have within the nursing profession? So I'm going to start off with difficulties, because difficulties to me are, they're not bad things, but they're just things that you just really don't want to discuss. So I've had several nursing difficulties. I'll honestly start off with the science. In nursing, you're required to do so many science courses. Now, I obviously have made it beyond that point, but that was very difficult for me, getting those science courses. Also, in nursing, you have to do a lot of critical thinking and a lot of applying yourself. And before entering into my career, that definitely was difficult for me. Now it's not so difficult, but at first it was very difficult. Now that we're off of the surface difficulties, let's dig a little bit deeper. The difficulties that I have in nursing is sometimes the way that physicians speak to us. It really ticks me off, because I understand and I respect doctors, and I respect PAs, and I respect NPs too. But the thing is, don't try to make me feel dumb or try to make it seem as if I don't know anything because I don't hold a medical doctor or DO license or degree. Don't make me feel like I don't know anything, and I've had several doctors over my career to, kind of talk bad to me. And I've had to correct them and be like, hey, I'm respecting you. Please respect me. We both deserve that courtesy. I understand you're a doctor. I respect that. So please do me a favor and respect my career in nursing. And so that is one of the things that you have to constantly say to people. You have to constantly remind them that, I understand that you may be at that level, but I am at this level and you need to respect me. Same thing, I have had a few issues with registered nurses to also, be difficult with me. They'll say things, well, you're just the LPN. And it's like, no, I'm not just the LPN. I'm a nurse just like you. Yes, there are some things that I cannot do. I cannot initiate assessments. I cannot hang blood. There's a lot of different IV drugs I can't do. I can't do TPN, but that does not mean I'm not a nurse. I still have critical thinking skills. I still do give all oral medications. I give some IM injections. I do some things subcutaneously, and I do follow-up teaching. So, we are kind of similar, just a little bit different, but at the same time, that does not give you a right to belittle me because I'm an LPN. And so that has been like the most challenging difficulties for me in this career is respect. Like, it's kind of like how they say you have to give to get. Same thing goes. So moving on to my goals in nursing. Currently, I am in an online LPN to BSN program. I will be graduating soon. I'm so excited for that. And upon graduation, I'm truly aspiring to be a postpartum nurse. That is my first goal. If not, then I will do pediatrics because I do love both fields. I'm very excited to be earning a higher level in my career. I'm basically going up the ladder and I have higher to go. So I am just so excited about that. Further goals is that I would love to be a midwife a midwife slash women's health nurse practitioner. I'm obsessed with women's health, and the different things that women face is just, oh my gosh. It's crazy how much women face just to have the right to do what she pleases with her own body. But we're not going to get into that. But I am a huge women's health advocate. I feel that women should be given the ultimate treatment, but a lot of times they're not. So I aspire to work in women's health. If not, then of course I will work elsewhere, preferably peds, until I can get into women's health. But the goal is women's health, guys. I'm not 100% sure if I want to go that advanced nursing route, or if I simply just want to hang on to the jewels that I have. Since I do have an MBA, it would make me a great candidate for a nursing manager role. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that I have a goal right now of becoming a women's health nurse. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I'm excited about it. Like, anytime you decide to climb that ladder in your career, it's both nerve-wracking and it's exciting. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing what doors God opened for me. And it's only up from here, as I've always already stated. I'm just really, really excited for all of the things that are heading my way. So the last question is, any advice for students and new nurses? So honestly, I do. I have advice for both. So I'm going to start with advice for students. If you are aspiring to be a nurse, my best advice is, like I stated before, understand your goal, know what it is that you want to do, and don't let anybody stop you. If you are in nursing school and if you're a nursing student, my advice to you is to always stay 2 feet ahead of the game. Always make sure that you're doing what you need to do on time, and always give yourself time to do things, because you don't want to do things at the last minute. And enjoy the journey. Don't try to speed it up so much. I made that mistake. I tried to speed up my journey. I ultimately ended up failing nursing school and having to start over for my RN. So don't make that mistake. Enjoy this journey. This journey is yet difficult, it's challenging, but it's rewarding. So remember that. And my advice for the new nurse: you will not be a new nurse always. So take every opportunity you can to learn as much as you can and challenge yourself. Challenges are not a bad thing. So do what you need to do in order to ensure that you have challenged yourself and to ensure that you are growing, because growth is what we are shooting for. So yes, guys, I have absolutely enjoyed doing this collab with the lovely Just Joia. You guys, please go check out her video. I will link it down below. This chit chat has been amazing for me. I hope that you guys love how this spread came out, and I appreciate you all for your time. Thank you, and bye.